Okay, number one, find the inverse of g. Find the inverse g of the function f. So let's write this down and just sort of review what you did in Math 119. Now they tell me the domain of this thing is greater than or equal to 0. Let's take a look. And it's invertible in that region. So I'll write this one down, y equals, and that's going to be the square root of x8 plus 10. So if you go back and review 119 material, they'd say change f of x to y. Then they'd say interchange the roles of x and y. Let me do that right now. And now I got to solve for y. All right. How do I do that? Square both sides. You get y8 plus 10. Then subtract 10 from both sides. And you get x squared minus 10 equals y to the 8th. Here comes the tricky part. And before there's anything about the tricky part, I want to just talk about this guy over here and just sort of give you some reminder. Now they said over here the domain of this thing over here was the x was greater or equal to 0. That means the range of this thing over here, which is f of x, would have to be greater than or equal to the square root of 10. All right, so what do I know about the function or the y value? It's certainly greater than 10. So what I know about this over here is that I just take the positive root of this. So let me put this over here. So y would equal the positive root. All right, so I'll put this over here. What root? The 8th root of x squared minus 10. Now if I wrote the domain of this one down over here, I would say the domain is greater than or equal to the root of 10. All right, the range of this, let me see if that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. And the range of this thing would be, the y would be greater than or equal to 0. All right, and this is the inverse. And let's see if that's written down. And this should be written down as with an inverse notation, like this over here. And they did say this was g of x. Let me see if that's written down for you. And I'm seeing it right over here, yeah. All right, let me just pause for a moment, make sure what I said is true. Yeah, I'm okay. All right, so next up is they asked for the derivative. And that shouldn't be too bad to do. Let me write that down for you. So I'm taking the derivative of this with respect to x. So dy dx, you could also call it g prime if you want. With the understanding that d prime means the derivative with respect to x. And that's going to be, let's see, this is, 1/8 comes down. X squared minus 10. Remember, I had an exponent of 1/8 there, so I have to take 1 from that. 1 from 1/8 would be minus 7/8. And there's the inside's 2x. I want to clean it up a little bit, and I'm going to just simply say 4x, and then I'm going to put down x squared minus 10 to the 7/8. All right, let's just look at the key, see if we got that. Certainly I'm looking at the x. I do see that. I see the 4. I notice I wrote it out with root notation. That's fine. You don't have to. But x squared minus 10, yeah, 7/8. We're good to go to the next question. Thank you.